Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to another episode of Not the Droids podcast. I'm Mayuri,
And I'm Danny.
and today we will be going into Andor season 1, episode 7, titled Announcement. When was that released?
This one was released on October 19th, 2022. And I will say I'm fully engaged now.
I'm so locked in. I have finally become interested in the senator's story.
Yes.
It has taken 7 episodes for me to care about her at
Her story.
all.
I kind of care about her daughter too.
I know that was really interesting that they put her in there.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
I wonder if her daughter's like secretly a rebel and neither of them know that each other's like rebels.
that would be amazing. So like
Oh, let's start
her
from the beginning. Let's
okay,
rewind.
okay. I'm just like there's so
Because we
many
can go
things
on
that
a
happened.
tangent. Let's rewind.
Let's start.
We're opening with Cyril.
I could care less about this man. I literally he looks like a petulant teenager who didn't get
My
his way.
My comment is I don't know that he's a petulant teenager. My comment is Cyril needs to get out on his own. He needs to just leave his family behind because they're not helping him. They're making him
No.
do things he doesn't care about. He should be able to make whatever color he wants on his suit without being like degraded for it. Just go do your own thing, sir. Like figure it out on your own. Start from the bottom. Get out of your family's life. That's my opinion on Cyril, and that's really my
I
only opinion
just
on Cyril.
every moment with him, and this is where I'm just like, honestly, I think we're waiting for the moment with him, right? Like they're showing all of this stuff and I wonder if it's building up to the
It
moment.
has to be. We can't be focusing on him for no reason.
Yeah, so it's just like I think we're just really like getting bogged down about how his life is so monotonous and listless.
Yes.
Um and I kind of love it. They've jumped to the ISB, so that woman,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Dedra?
Um
Was it her? No, it was the
yeah,
other
Dedra.
lady.
I think it's
Or was that?
Deirdre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Deidre.
Deirdre. Um I love that someone tried to call her out again, and she was like, but in fact I have results. So,
Yeah. Like,
and then their boss was like, you know what, why is nobody else taking initiative?
yes.
Because I don't know, it's just such a funny scene to me because I was just like, this is so bureaucratic, and it's literally just like working in a corporate office.
We're back to the senator. And
That's why. So that's where I was saying I'm finally interested in her story because this is where they're showing a little bit of backstory about what she thinks she signed up for, right? Like,
yes.
she's talking to Luthen and she's like, this is what the hell. It was just supposed to be like, I'm moving around money. I will get you guys money. And I like how like callous he was with her, where he was just like, what did you think that we were doing? Like, but I think she didn't think it would ever blow up to this extent. Because again, it's stealing 80 million credits. Like they're going through all the changes that the Empire is enacting. And it is very much the Empire is aware and the Empire is pissed. And I think that was the point. I know they needed money, but I think that was the point of the heist
Yeah.
because they wanted to make an impact
They
that
wanted
actually,
reaction. Yeah.
I think essentially it's a signal to the galaxy that the Empire is not as strong as it thinks it is. And in fact, we can help. So, like, I know I'm pushing forward, but think about when Andor is talking to Marva
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, do you see what they just did? They stole $80 million, 80 million credits from the Empire. Like, it's real, it's happening, and I want to help. I am sick of running. I am sick of being this person.
I'm
And
sick of sitting
that,
around and being afraid to walk on the street.
and
Because
I
like,
think
you know what happens to Clem? And I've been curious and we
where he's been, I'm going to say I completely forgot about that man until this episode where it shows how like tragic it was. And then the fact that she's just like they hung him up in the square. Like I don't go there because of that. Like And that's where it's just like, that's what happens, right? And so she's just sitting and been hiding essentially because she doesn't know what she can do. And that's why I think this was the point of the heist
Yeah.
because it's gonna get them airplay across the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And it's
And
gonna
people
get people moving.
people like Marva, it's gonna get them like excited that something is happening and they
Making
can pull it
decisions to
off.
join things.
So that's why I'm just like the money is nice. And as much as Luthen was telling the senator that like rebellions take money,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's he masterminded this because he knew that this would spur other people to be against, to have the thought that they could actually rebel against the empire.
Yes.
But you get some of the history of what she thought she agreed to. She is wealthy. It very much she has family money.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just agreeing to fund the rebellion with her family money.
Yes.
And so that's where I'm just like, she is a senator. I don't think she expects like small unrest, but this level of unrest she did not expect.
Like this is too big from the get-go. And like you didn't inform me. I know it's you. Stop lying to my face. Like this is your name written all over it.
Yeah.
Um,
And so that's why you see all these steps, right? Like you go back to Cyril who's in this monotonous job
hmm Well, but
and
then you go, but also like they're showing you how things are affecting because we also see Cinta very short time and the Star Destroyer flying over the planet.
yeah. So that's why, but you see the effect of this one heist across the galaxy in the way people are. Even so, like Cyril knows about it. He has this job that his uncle got him, but he's still trying to earn his kind of honor back,
Yes.
right? Like he's just like, I want to be right. And I'm gonna prove it that I was right to do this. Um, I like the interaction that he had with his supervisor where he was saying that.
Yeah.
And the supervisor was like, I think you would be best over here if that's your goal.
Yeah.
It says that he's in, I wasn't really sure where he was, but fuel purity.
No
And I
purity.
wonder if that's going to come around, back around, that it is important that he's in this specific job.
Something with him is going to come back around. And they like scan over him enough in his office that we're like, okay, there's something either with him at this specific job that's gonna happen. Like something's related here.
I did really enjoy the overhead shot of all the circular cubes.
Yeah. I think I'd
And I
like
was
it. Like as someone who works in an office, I'm like, I would like had I been in the office, I'm like, I would love a little circular cube. I would love my introvert cube rather than
well,
my like cubicle cube that's square.
that is That's so funny because I worked in facilities for a little bit, and all I see when I see those circular cubes is inefficient space management
Oh yeah,
because
totally. It's not efficient at all. But as
you
an
need certain
introvert,
walkways. I
as an
mean, I
introvert,
get it.
I would love to like be at my desk and just be like, oh, I'm over here. Oh, I'm
You know
over
what it
here. I'm
reminds me
good.
of? What is I don't watch Parks and Rec, but doesn't like isn't there a scene where like Ron is sitting at a circular desk and someone is trying to talk to him and he just keeps
That
moving around the desk?
would be me. That would be me. I'd be like, oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. I would love it.
Yeah, so the scene that I really loved actually was this scene because the hooded figure, and I feel like is she the girl from the gallery? The girl in the red, like she was just walking with intention around
I feel
Coruscant.
like, but I wasn't positive because I kept looking and like, I don't know. I can't
I don't
tell.
know her.
Yeah.
So sorry. So she's walking. I love that she came across that brick with the null sign through it. And I
Yeah.
wonder what that meant officially and why she was going there. But she's walking, she's walking, she's walking. We're seeing the effects like the heightened security. And then she runs into Vel, who at this point no longer looks like a gremlin. I was
No.
like, oh, hey, girl. I see you. Look at her hair. It's laid right. Um, it was that interaction was interesting because she could care less that Nemec died.
Yeah.
Um, her and Luthen are like, great, we were a little skeptical about Skeen and now he's dead, so who cares? And now, and I think that is when Val was just like, who are these people that we work for?
Yeah.
Because when she asks about Cinta, which we know why she's asking about Cinta,
Yeah.
she's like, she's doing what she's told.
Yeah.
Like she's still doing her job, she's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that because Cassian left, I think because he like vacated and
Mhm.
didn't stay with the rebellion, they're done with him. They're just like, you know what, your next job, I can't believe it. Your next job is to find him and neutralize him. But the way she said he has Luthen in his head is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, are they worried about like him getting captured and like tortured for information? Or is there, and am I just blanking on like a Star Wars thing that can, or the Force? You people can get into your head with the Force, right? Like, can they read your
I
thoughts?
think it, no, it's more like they can't read your thoughts. They can like push your decisions, like to, or like, though they can like manipulate almost, but not like read your thoughts.
Yeah.
But they can torture you with the force and everything. Because
But
that's how
that's
they're
where
still
I'm,
like these are not the droids you're looking for. They're like telling you like you don't actually
oh,
see
yeah,
in front of you.
that's right.
It's not like a
So,
reading of the thoughts. It's like a moving your thoughts or moving your perceptions.
so that's where I'm just like, I think he's just a loose end and they could give two
Yeah,
shit.
he's a loose
They could
end.
care less about him.
They don't know where he's going to go because he's a wild card. Because
Yeah.
honestly, like for turning them in, he could get his freedom from his previous issues.
Yeah, he could be like, actually, these are the people that you want to
Let me give
arrest.
you the list. Give me a clean slate. Like they don't know him enough to be like, oh, that's not him.
So, do you know that I think the issue, so Marla is now radicalized, right? But it stems
Marva.
from what Marva, sorry, Marla's from
Marla's from The
Young
Young
Jedi.
Jedi, which we will talk about later.
So Marva is radicalized now to help the rebellion, and I
Well,
think it was
and a big note
rooted,
before this, Ferris is under Imperial authority now.
yeah, which it never was before.
No.
Um, but that issue with Clem is what is radicalizing her. And I think that is in the back of Cassian's head as a reason that you'll never win against the Empire.
Yes.
So, like, that same person, that same moment is affecting them both
Yeah.
so differently.
Mhm.
So differently.
Marva also says something towards the end, and this is jumping around a bit, but she says to stop searching for your sister. She's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And
Nobody made
sorry
it
was
off.
not your responsibility. You were a child, and that there were no survivors. So something bigger happened, which is also writing to Cassian's decisions.
Yeah.
So something
Because
happened after they found Cassian.
so I think that the Empire came, saw that all of their officers were dead, and I'm betting that they did not kidnap those kids. They just cleared house.
Yeah. That would be like my guess too, but I think it's something that we will find out just the way they're talking about it because it is about Cassian's past. So we will see
No,
what.
so I do love BMO. And so, like, him going back and forth and being like, come with me, like, I have the money. I like how he's like, I got lucky and I found money.
Mm-hmm. Mimo's also
No.
like, when do we leave? Can I
BMO's
speak
like,
now?
I love BMO in this episode, but I kind of agree with Marva that like she might do more good staying.
Oh yes. And now here's the thing is Cassian here is a he's not a rebel. He is a dreamer. He is dreaming for the easy street Annie reference. Like he wants to be settled and not worry about things, not be playing a scheme. He just wants to go somewhere where he can just mind his own business and not worry about everything else going on.
Yeah.
Whereas Marva's like, no, we have to make change. We have to do something because there's movement now and we could do something and I will be better here than I will be anywhere else to help. And he's like, I want to
Especially
help.
since Ferrex is under Imperial command. So they might get more, right? So, because like a Bix said something that was really telling, which is like he's not safe here because everyone in Ferrex blames him.
Everyone blames you. Anyone would betray you and turn you in. You need to
Yeah,
leave.
there's no safety for you here anymore.
Well, I feel like
And
Biggs and Marva are now on the same page. I think they might
yeah,
be like in cahoots together. We just don't actually see it yet.
I was not yawning until this moment. So,
Side note, can I have the plant window that Marva has? That big circular window where she had
oh my
plants hanging?
God.
Wouldn't that look really
There,
nice right on the wall
listen,
behind me?
I gotta tell you, if I was her and I had settled in such a nice like dwelling, I would be like, I've been building this place. This is my home. I am not leaving because you are constantly messing up. I am a law-abiding citizen here. So,
Oh, well, I think part of it came from she wasn't living. And
that's
now
true.
she is energized to live because of Clem. She really like just gave up. And we see
Yeah.
that. Like, think of the difference of when we saw the end of the episode where everything has happened and he's leaving, and you just see her so dejected and just sitting there like,
What can I
life is over.
do?
I've now lost the only other person I had. Compared to
Yeah.
here, where she's like, no, I'm ready to fight. I put
So
on my best coat and I walk through that street.
I love the moment where he's like, I'm not going to be able to be free because I'll be constantly worried about you. And she's like, that's just love, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
That's what happens. And then we have, I'm jumping. Did you
oh
anything
no.
else on Marva?
No, I just love the change in her. And I was like,
Yes.
get it.
Yes.
Like
We jump over to we
the
passed through
party.
our senator at the party. That dress,
Sick. Literally the costuming in this show, it's
mm,
just like Acolyte. Like every time people
beautiful.
come on screen, I'm like so gagged,
I'm like, I
especially
just
with
want to
Coruscant.
cosplay like background Star Wars character. I don't even need to
Honestly,
be a character.
I was staring at
In-universe Star
Dedra.
Wars character. Like,
I was staring at Dedra when she was suiting up, and I was like, listen, as hideous as the Imperial outfits are because of the pants, I kind of dig it.
be like, oh, I can
Like,
work this. I can work with this.
I like the like clasping system and how they're doing it, and I was just like, I kind of love it. But this was funny because she is just like chatting with a friend of hers, it seems like,
Childhood
and
friend.
they're
We'll talk
like,
about childhood activities.
yeah, they're just like double talk in this scene is so
Oh yeah.
great. And my
Yes.
favorite is like when she was like, I'd like to like work with you. And he's like, I think you would find that my politics are not to your liking. Because he's looking at her like opulence and like
Mhm.
that
And she
senator
straight up says it. She's
lifestyle.
like, this is a front. Everything you see is a front. And then she throws the line right back at him.
Yeah. So that's where I think this whole scene is essentially to set up that she does not trust her husband. She does not trust any of her staff or friends.
And
And
she
she's
told
looking
them
for
right, he's like,
someone.
I'm being watched. I can't even move my own money. My daughter wants to be excused, and I feel like she's a rebel. That's not from her, that's from my opinion. I'm like, I daughter's up to something.
Yeah, I think she is too. But like, and that's where you see she's like, I am looking to someone to help run this department where people will see it as like a little thing,
A little
her
charity,
moving
it's just
money
an
into it's just a
insignificant
money
thing.
laundering.
Yeah.
She's like, she needs someone to help her money launder to the Republic.
And he's a
And
banker.
he's a banker and his politics are on her side. So I he's a perfect choice. And I wonder if she knew that he would lean that way anyway,
If they've
from
known
what she
each
knows.
other from childhood, like their childhood, because even like when her husband comes up, she's like, talking about old times again, aren't you? High school reunions coming up. Um, Most likely they probably know at least where they were at the end of high school leaning, like, and it might have been easy to be like, I knew him as a kid. Yeah, he's definitely, and he only sees what is
Yeah.
projected.
And also, like, she admits that her persona is a front. So for him to see the reaction where he was just like, I'm gonna stop you there.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what convinced her that, like, yes, he's the right guy for this.
Yeah.
Um, So that's where I'm now very interested in this. Like it's now it's finally getting into like the political
Yes.
intrigue that I
We know
wanted
how
it to
we
be.
know where she's at now. Like she's not just
Yeah.
like passerby. She's ready to play.
Yeah, especially since she didn't back off after that stuff
Um,
with Luthen. Because, like, a part of me was like, oh, is she going to be like scared off and now just like separate from the rebellion?
or do
But
her
I mean,
own thing, or but no, she's like now it's time for me to like start putting moves in place. Um,
I did love the random jump to like all of
most
this stuff with Andor.
yeah,
And
I
I'm
believe
just
it's
like,
called Neemos. I don't know how to actually pronounce it.
yeah, oh, the planet.
Yes,
I was just like, man,
you went
this
to the
man,
beach. You went stereotypical dream big. You went to the beach.
you're like, you're a tourist, you went to the beach, and you still couldn't not act sus. If he wasn't acting sus,
Yeah,
nobody would have tagged him.
no. You just
Cause
needed to
like
like sit down and like enjoy the view and not keep walking when people were running.
that's why
Also,
this.
I appreciate I did have subtitles on that. These were shore troopers,
Oh,
not
I didn't see
they
that.
were they were shore troopers. I'm like, I see what you did there.
That's really funny. But no, but that's where I was just like, you know what? If I was a cop walking a beat and I saw someone acting like he would, I 100%
Yeah, he
would
was being
stop
very
him.
sus.
I would be like, hey man, everybody is just relaxing. Why are you looking around and running?
Andor also never knows when to stop talking.
I feel like if he just didn't talk and was like, that's not what happened, that's not what happened,
Yeah,
it also would have de escalated.
yeah, and he would only have been sentenced to the 6 months, not 6 years.
I can't believe. So it's wild. Obviously, he's here under a fake name,
Mhm.
but I love the lack of anything by the administrator. She's like, that sucks for you. Like, sorry.
We saw our
There's,
KS units. So these are those first
yes.
time they appear. They're very aggressive and they're very like,
Yeah. I did love the moment where he was like, he said, hang,
yeah.
hang. I was like,
Um,
they're very literal.
I'm excited to see how we go from that literal unit to K2SO.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there another one of those? Like, I've seen it in the
K2SO
ad.
is very snarky. So I'm very curious to see how we get from this is what the KX units are to who K2SO is, who is in Rogue One.
Yeah, no, I love that Droid in Rogue
So
One.
I'm very curious how we get from this is the base model unit to the personality we have in K2.
One of the things is they don't
Also,
know that.
voiced by Alan Tudyk.
I know. I was just like, I clocked it as soon as I heard it. I was like, I know that man's. I know that man's. Um, I am just curious because they seem to not have any like facial recognition situation. Because like, how is he booked under a new name with the same face? And he's in their records previously, but maybe the planet systems don't
Yeah,
talk to
you're
each
like,
other
look, yeah,
and
you might
only
be looking
like
at like planet wide versus galaxy wide.
yeah, so it's
And
like
I feel
state
like,
versus federal.
and with this huge robbery that has happened, they're probably like, we've already put that thing to rest. We're not following that path anymore. We kind of like just shoved it aside. We're like,
Yeah. That's where I'm just like, I wonder if he'll get, first of all, 6 years is a long time. 6 months would have been fine. 6 years
it's a
is he
lot.
gonna be in there the whole 6 years? And are we
Uh,
gonna do a time
I'm
jump?
wondering
Like
if we're jumping
what's
because we know season two we has been jumping 5 years every 3 episodes. So we might have, or we're gonna see some different characters in the next episode and follow what
or are
happens to
we gonna
them.
like get like a montage of other
Yeah.
people doing rebellion
Yeah.
stuff? Um and while Cassian's in prison. Because like if they don't know him and he's just in there, like can he just get through and get released like a
Or
normal person?
is he meeting new contacts?
Oh, in
And it drives
prison.
him to actually towards the rebellion.
But here, yeah, that's interesting. But I also wonder if this is going to be like something that Cyril
Mhm.
finds out, like somehow going through data and logs,
Yeah,
like it, like somewhere shows up
somewhere.
and he
Yeah,
sees Cassian's face. And then he's like, "Boop, boop, boop, boop," like,
we need to transfer him now. He's mine.
so that's where I'm just like, I'm very excited to see what's next, which has finally happened, right? Like,
Yes.
this is the first time watching the show. Everyone, like we got the commenter who said it was just like, just keep in there, like it's
Yep.
slow, but we'll get there. And I'm just like, we're finally there. I'm
We're
clocked in.
there.
I'm like,
We're in.
what's,
We're ready. But until that point, we're not the droids you're looking for.
but where the droids are gonna get.